Ni Cristo members took part in the 1 Million Trees Challenge in Winnipeg. Kathleen Maypangan has this report.
They're always ready to help and are quick in responding to the needs of our fellow men and the community. They're consistent in holding aid to humanity outreach programs in different places of the world. Who are these people who are always ready to help the needs of the community and work hand in hand with the leaders of the community? They are the members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Church of Christ, an international church that is now established in 158 countries all over the world. Who is the man who inspired them to do the Aid to Humanity outreach program through the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation that even had caught the attention of the political leaders in the community? Their dynamic leader, executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. This time, the Iglesia Ni Cristo or Church of Christ members are taking part in doing something valuable for our environment's welfare for future generations.
This is an event in support of the 1 Million Tree Challenge, which was initiated last September by the Mayor of Winnipeg, Brian Bowman. This is our very first volunteer event related to that challenge. I was contacted by the Church of Christ last fall with the offer of having hundreds of volunteers able to help us with this 1 Million Tree Challenge. We had to wait a little while to initiate the event. But I contacted a member of the church, and he was really easily able to find all these volunteers on a pretty short notice. So we would not be able to do this type of activity without the support of community members, members of the Church of Christ. So we're very appreciative. Everyone's spirit, everyone's commitment, friendliness has been amazing. We've only known each other a very short period of time, but I know we're going to have a really great partnership in the future. I guess I would say thank you for building such a great community that comes together and supports the community at large, which is an amazing thing.
They're participating in the 1 Million Trees Challenge of Winnipeg's Mayor Brian Bowman.
Well, it's always nice to be able to come out and support a wonderful activity today, so I appreciate being asked to come out. What I have found is that in many different circumstances, I will often attend something related to Church of Christ or even other church or other organizations, and often what you will get is people helping other people. Maybe it's to fight poverty or to work on housing and all sorts of things. Today is really special because Church of Christ has actually made a commitment to our environment. Our kids and others, we know how important our environment is, and that's really what today's all about. We're planting trees. So members of the Church of Christ have been out for the last couple of days. I think they've planted over 250 trees in a park, and that's really thinking into the future. It is about protecting our environment. The more trees we have, the better it is. The Prime Minister of Canada said he wants to see 2 billion trees planted. Well, Church of Christ is kind of like showing the way. Not only can it be an individual, but it can also be church families and so many other organizations. So at this point, I think it's great just to recognize how Church of Christ has really stepped up once again on a very important social issue. And this is all about the earth. There is only one earth. And so it's planting trees to make things better for not only today's generation, but future generations.
They are led by their district minister, Brother Sidney Santos. Resident ministers, ministerial workers, officers, and the members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo or Church of Christ are gathered while following the COVID-19 restrictions to respond to the call of Mayor Brian Bowman to plant hundreds of trees here at Woodsworth Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Ka Eduardo po, once again, we would like to thank you so much for this blessing in our district to help the community and also to help the future, not only of the church members, but also in this province po. We were able to plant many trees with your approval and always your guidance po. And we know that even though the future is uncertain, we have done our part once again as members of the Church of Christ to ensure that the children and those that will follow afterwards will always have something that they will be able to use and a legacy of the Church of Christ po in our community. Thank you once again po, Ka Eduardo. we love you so much po, and we will continue to follow your guidance and your love for all of us and for the entire community here in Manitoba po. Thank you again po.
They are led by their district minister, Brother Sidney Santos. Resident ministers, ministerial workers, officers, and members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo or Church of Christ are gathered while following the COVID-19 restrictions to respond to the call of Mayor Brian Bowman to plant hundreds of trees here at Woodsworth Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada today, September 19, 2020. Reporting for Eagle News from Manitoba, Canada, I am Kathleen May Pangan. We live in interesting times.